This episode's brought to you by Ghost AT&T. It's like a long distance plan, but you talk to ghosts.
Is this a metal thing? Yes. Little taste.
David, what is this?
Pretty thick.
Great.
I have to kill a lot of people. Just tell me what you want me to fuck.
I have big tits and a tiny vagina.
Oil me up, Daddy. I can't believe that Bryce prefers big tits. Mistletoe alert. This is backcountry.
This guy was a real jerk.
How long can Hugo be pregnant? Chomp, 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 chomp.
Oh, she's such a dick, David.
Okay, everybody, put on your corpse handling gloves.
Ew.
Hoodie Picasso.
Hey, everybody. It's Horror Movie Talk
Hey guys.
with your hosts, me, Bryce Hanson.
And me, David Day.
Yeah, so we're record. See, this is what happens when we record later in the day. I'm just much more subdued.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
You're like a panda bear. Just sitting there
Well, that's normal.
munching on your
Yeah,
bamboo.
just dark eyes.
Dark eyes.
Dark eyes,
Very-
like doll's eyes.
Very fluffy. Like, I could pet you.
Anytime. Anytime you need it, buddy. So if you're new to Horror Movie Talk, you should know that we're a weekly horror movie review show. We prioritize new releases, and so this week, of course, we're going to be covering the Black Phone.
Yeah. Why's it got to be black?
Yeah, why does the phone always got to be black?
Yeah, why that?
Low effort jokes.
This movie, I've been waiting for this movie for like fucking 3 years.
Yeah, it feels like it. It's one of those that really got kicked down the road several times from the pandemic.
Shelved.
So before we get into it, just want to mention our website, horrormovietalk.com. Go there and find all the links to the things. We've got a new fundraiser. You want to talk about that, David?
Yeah, we have a $2,000 goal to send a donation to the Trevor Project. This is to save LGBTQ plus IA plus youth, and we'll get that ball rolling to the tune of $500. We're dropping 500 big ones into that pot just to get that ball rolling. So if you'd like to help us help gay and trans and LGBT plus IQIA people, then please head on over to our website. Just scroll down just a bit underneath our player and the little player on the right hand side, and you'll see a big old donate here, donate now button. And that's just a GoFundMe, so you know it's legit. And it goes directly to the Trevor Project, all proceeds.
Yeah, so chip in there. Again, we're a weekly podcast. We post new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe to us and leave a review if you like us. Call us at 682-253-4468 to leave us a voicemail. Later on in the show, we'll be checking those. Every episode, we start out by giving a brief review and our score for the movie. We score on a scale of 1 to 10. And after we get to the score, we take a deeper dive in the spoiler section. So if you haven't seen the film, you can bounce and come back later after you've seen it. But we will attempt to leave out the spoilers in the review section. Later on, we've got a couple bits. We're going to be doing... I was thinking about a new bit, but it ended up being too depressing and too lengthy. So I'm going to do the next most depressing bit we've ever done, which is, I don't think we even came up with a title for it. I think it's basically Make David Miserable.
Oh, no, we did. We had this is horror or horrible.
Horror or horrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is where you make me... Oh,
so I think the concept was, is this worse than a horror movie? Watching this.
Yeah, and you're going to make me watch videos of horrible things happening to people.
Yeah. And then we'll check our voicemail on Horror Movie Whores.
You know, before we get into anything, I'd just like to say thanks to our most recent Patreon. members.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, down the list. Thank you to all of these wonderful people for supporting the show. This is a free show. That's why there are ads on it. If you don't like the ads and you don't pay us any money, then you have no room to talk. But these people do. These people are Julian K., Daniel P., Dominic P., Laura M., James H., Rebecca, Inspector Boogie,
It's my favorite one.
Corey P., and Joe P. A lot of P going on. All you guys, thank you for supporting the show. Depending on what level of access they've chosen, they don't have to listen to commercials because they've chosen to support the show. If you're complaining about commercials, you should know you don't have to worry about those if you join our Patreon.
You know, not all. I haven't really heard anyone complain about the commercials, to be honest.
They're out
They're
there.
complaining to you.
They're complaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard some people actually, I've heard more people complain about Spotify commercials in the wrong language.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
That's not us. We have a deal with iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we don't make any money from Spotify.
Nothing.
Yeah. After that deal dropped, after that deal fell through, they really kind of
Cold shouldered.
spitefully put in a bunch of
They're like,
German ads in our
have fun with Samoa. Like, what?
Yeah, so we went and saw The Black Phone, and it made me feel stranger danger. Here is the trailer.
I'll be home in the morning.
Where you going?
I'm staying over at Susie's tonight.
What's new? The flyer.
The papers call him the grabber.
I wish you wouldn't call him that.
You don't actually believe that story, do you? Because he can't hear you, and he doesn't really take kids that safe.
Oh, you goof. Well, isn't that just peachy keen?
You need some help?
You see that?
Yeah.
Would you hand me my hat? Yes, sir. I am a part-time magician.
Are those black balloons in there?
Would you like to see a magic trick?
I have an announcement to make. One of our students, Finney Blake, was abducted.
What if I could help the police find Finney?
Doesn't work. Not since I was a kid.
I'll scream. I'll scratch your face.
This face?
Daddy, I had a dream about it.
What happened in your dream?
He was taken.
By a man with black balloons?
Yes.
We never released those details.
Hello?
Don't hang up.
Who are you?
You know all our names.
You're getting out of here.
Please let the dreams be real.
See the wall in front of you? I tore a long cable loose from down there. There's a combination lock on the inside of the storm door.
What's the combination?
I carved it in the wall.
The tree, the door, the gate. I'd never seen it before except in my dream.
You don't have much time.
You're gonna use a weapon. You raise the phone, step back, and swing.
Look what you made me do.
Please hurry.
You remember what I told you?
There's someday I should stand up for myself.
Someday is today, Finn.
Spooky.
The Black Phone can be found in theaters now. Pretty much all you need to know is in the trailer. In the late 70s in North Denver, there is a spate of missing children. Rumors abound of a predator named the Grabber. Finney, the protagonist, is either a popular baseball pitcher or a shy weakling who is picked on by bullies.
You can be both, Bryce. Anybody who watched this movie will kind of go, that will resonate with.
Right.
He'll be like,
it's almost like it sets him up as like, oh yeah, he's like the captain of the baseball team, and then someone hits off of him once, and then everyone's like,
fuck that guy.
It's like the baby sheep scene in The Simpsons.
Yeah, out of the way, you.
Oh. Finney, I keep misspelling.
He is soon grabbed.
Finney, he is soon grabbed by the grabber, played by Ethan Hawke in a mask channeling Pennywise the Clown. As I thought about it more, it's like literally Pennywise. He has balloons, but they're like, we can't just have red balloons. Better make them black.
I love this mask.
The mask is fantastic.
This is. I don't think there's no hyperbole in this. I think this is the most iconic horror movie mask or villain in the past 20 years. Like this fucking crushes the bad guy.
Yeah, it's great. It's designed by Tom Savini. Did you know that?
I had no idea, but it's every part of it is gold.
Yeah, it is a fantastic mask. It's a good visual thing. So Finney's sister Gwen has a touch of the shinning and has dreams about where the grabber takes his victims. While Finney is locked in the grabber's basement, the disconnected black phone in the room receives calls from the previous victims of the grabber from beyond the grave. Finney must work to free himself using the knowledge given to him from the phone and using his own wits. This is a very capable film. It feels very much like a Stephen King story. Did you feel that way while you were watching it? Like it jumped out at me. It was like, this is very Stephen King, like the supernatural element.
Yeah, now that you're mentioning it, yeah, I guess so. I guess I expected the supernatural element to come from a different direction than it did, but yes. Yeah. If it were to be a Stephen King film, what I mean to say is I feel like the supernatural element would come from a different direction. But
just the kind of psychic powers or the dreams feels very much The Shining, or like we just watched Firestarter too. Well, that makes sense because this was written by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. His full name is like Joe Hill Vinger King or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hill something. Someone will correct me. We're very well researched here on Horror Movie Talk, as everyone knows.
Talk about burying the lead here. Go by Joe King. Are you kidding me? Like,
I respect it. I mean, isn't that so much more impressive that he's can make a career from not using the most famous name in horror?
Yeah, but he's still his dad's son. So what are you trying to prove? Like, okay, you're not using his name, but you're still his kid, and you're clearly getting the ups from that. Go full on with it. Like, you need every bit of help you can get. And if your name is Joe King, Joe King, even better. What's he doing?
So this film was directed by Scott Derrickson, who previously directed Sinister and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This is to say that Black Phone is in capable hands. A lot's given away in the trailer, which is unfortunate, but the film has some good twists and turns and ends up being compelling and engaging throughout. The biggest pleasant surprise for me is the quality of the acting from the young cast, especially Mason Thames, who plays Finney, and Madeline McGraw, who plays Gwen, his sister, and who also has some of the best lines in the film.
Yeah, Madeline just really crushes it. Like, both of them do. I mean,
yeah, Finney was like, it's one of those things where it hit me. I was like, wow, this kid is actually a really good actor. Like, just what he's conveying through his performance feels so natural, especially juxtaposed with some of the other actors, like the other kid that beats up the bullies and gets grabbed.
And the hair metal kid.
Like, they are... it's just not the same quality.
Yeah. No, yeah, and Madeline has the exact right level of precociousness.
Right.
It's not overboard, it's not too understated. It's just I go, and they give her some cuss words that actually made me worried for the young actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, sweetie, like don't."
Yeah, it's hard to figure out how old they are. Like it doesn't say in the IMDb.
It is hard.
Like they look very believable as high school students. You know.
No, they're middle school students.
Is it middle school?
Yep.
Well, they're believable either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely like Mason Thames is one of those kids that I'll probably keep my eye on.
Oh yeah,
you know?
kills it.
The first act does a very good job of creating a compelling three-dimensional character in Finney. His life isn't all roses, having to deal with an alcoholic, abusive father along with schoolyard bullies. We're shown that Finney is empathetic, strong, and capable, but doesn't fight for himself. He seems to survive day to day, depending on friendships and his relationship with his sister. This sets up a compelling character arc that seems natural and satisfying in the end. There isn't a lot of time spent on the grabber. He is more of a presence and more of a looming threat than an active participant in most of the film.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them do more with him. There's ample opportunity to go very dark. And I was a little surprised, given Derrickson's previous films, that there wasn't more done to show what the grabber did with his previous victims. I mean, this seems like a weird... This enters in, like, all eyes on Bryce at this point. Yeah. It's like, I really wanted to see more maiming and murder of small children is really what this film lacked.
Yeah.
Like,
well, who doesn't want that?
But it seemed like the stakes were there, and it was obvious, like, he's going to get murdered. Like, that's what's going to happen, and that's like, yeah, that's compelling.
But where was the rape?
But
Bryce asks. Why not more?
But I mean, there's opportunities, like especially midpoint in the film where Finney plays into his hands, where it's like there didn't seem to be hugely significant consequences to him, and that feels like it would have been an opportunity to have like a maiming moment.
It was an interesting amount of restraint that was being shown, and it kept me on my toes a little bit, because it's like you expect
it to go pretty hard.
You expect he's just gonna go off, and then he kind of reels it back. But is he gonna go off? And maybe he does. I don't know. This is not the spoiler section.
And there's also Anyways, it in the end, it's pretty predictable what happens in this movie. You know, when people say like, "Oh, they gave it all away in the trailer," like, well, they didn't, but actually they kind of did. Like, you know what you're getting into with this. I would have liked them to spend a little more time making the grabber scarier, just filling in a little bit of it. Like, physically, the presence and the performance is great, but they're not really communicating, or they're not showing the depravity in them. They're telling and inferring a lot into it.
This is a chance. Yeah. So, a lot of this movie feels like a bit of a Hannibal Lecter style. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a bit of a Hannibal Lecter character, where it's interesting.
Definitely like a Buffalo Bill character, at least.
Sure. Well, I mean, yes, all of the above kind of thing, where the point is not to know exactly how fucked up he can go and get, but it's all, and it's not given to you on a silver platter. It's revealed to you slowly over time, and that is the thing that that they want us to focus on, is like, look at this weirdo.
Right.
Like, how weird does he get?
Well, yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, if we're making comparisons to Silence of the Lambs, it's an apt comparison, but that's probably my touchstone, where it's like, how did they treat Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter in that film? Well, you're shown, like, the Buffalo Bill character is really filled out, and it really focuses on his, like, depravity and, like, his motivations and his psychology, you know. And that's what most of it is. And you see like the after effects of what he's done with previous victims, which is basically make a woman suit. And then Hannibal Lecter, like you're told like how horrible he is, but eventually you see it. Eventually you see him like when he breaks out of, spoilers, when he breaks out of that prison and wears the guy's face. Like it's all like you're showing it. And this one, like it's all, we're told about it, but
it's all inferential.
Yeah, it's all inferential. All we see is some covered graves.
Yeah, don't give too much away here. I think you're giving a lot away. Pre-spoilers.
The fact that there's graves?
No, the fact that they don't give anything away ever.
Okay. Well, I think that the Grabber could have been a more indelible villain. Like, he was visually great.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hawke does a really good performance.
Oh, crushes it. Yeah. It's an interesting choice to have Ethan Hawke, a guy who is, I would argue, the reason you have Ethan Hawke in your movie is because of his face. He's a great actor too, but he's got one of those faces that's just like, oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like this is
well, they still use it a little bit,
but they don't bear like you'll never get to see his whole face except for one scene. So it's an interesting move, and he did a great job with it. I think I was worried about him.
Yeah. Well, this is again directed by Scott Derrickson, and in Sinister, Ethan Hawke and what's his name? James Ransone.
Yeah.
He's in this too, and they were both in Sinister.
Yeah.
So a little bit of it is probably just using cast that he likes. Overall, it's a really enjoyable movie. It exceeded my expectations. It was better than I thought it was going to be, especially the first act and like the effort they put into creating the story. Behind just the serial killer grab someone and having the supernatural phone. I give it a score of 8 out of 10.
That's a fair score, I think. I don't think I enjoyed a lot of different aspects of this movie, for a lot of the same reasons you did. But one that I think we might differ a little bit on is I really, 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 really love the 70s vibe. The whole thing, like it's so committed. This is the most committed modern movie to getting the 70s right on screen. I feel like they had a production design consultant of I know they do of Adam Carolla just came in and was like, no, this has got to be more depressing. We got to have that hearth real sparse. Everything's got to be, shag carpets and dark tones. And the film has to be gritty because it was disgusting back then. I really like the amount of attention they paid to like getting the 70s right, with one exception that drove me absolutely bonkers in an LED flashlight, where I was like, what the fuck is an LED flashlight doing in the 70s?
That was LED, wasn't it?
Drove me insane. I was so into the vibe aesthetically of this movie that moment I was like, damn you to hell.
That's interesting because they had LEDs back then, didn't they?
Yeah, sure.
And
they were capable of putting out very little light.
It was a rocket ship. It could have been the most futuristic flashlight that kid could get his hands on. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's a super nitpicky point, is what you mean.
Yeah. If I were to say that point, you'd be like, oh, there's Bryce again being super nitpicky.
No, it's just one of the, it didn't massively change my score or anything like that. It just bothered the shit out of me to see it was one of those little niggling things. But, there were a few points where I was like, does this really need to be as long as it is? And it's not that long. It's only an hour and 45, but that says enough, right? If it felt kind of a little too long, it's probably a little too long. And, granted, a lot of that time went into making these believable characters, so I don't know. But I was a little bored throughout. This sits at a high 6, low 7 for me. So it was definitely a crazy. I love serial killer movies, and this is that. So
yeah, I feel like there was kind of a bit missed opportunity in the second and third act because it was like
very sparse.
You're right on the tracks, like you're on the train tracks, and you knew exactly where this was going.
Yeah,
and there was nothing really unpredictable that happened. I mean, there was one kind of surprise, but really, it's like they could have done more.
It was weird.
They could have done more. Just even had more interactions between the grabber and the kid.
Yeah, it was weird how they chose to focus the movie,
right?
Like what things to focus the movie on, and it ended up being the stories of the previous victims instead of the much more interesting thing of the psychopath upstairs,
right?
You know, so but I mean, you know, it does leave itself open for very interesting prequels. I hope they do something more with this mask. And Ethan Hawke playing this character, because I want to know more about him. I'm just like, want to know more about Hannibal Lecter at the end of Silence of the Lambs. I'm just like, tell me more about this strange, terrifying man. And Ethan Hawke in this was that.
Yeah, he was great. Speaking of great, how about our great sponsors? And on the top of that list is nightchannels.com. Night Channels is a great website where you can find exclusive designs of horror movies, the occult, hard rock, and lots of other cool stuff. Designs that you're not going to see anywhere else. And really, all you got to do is take the Night Channels challenge. That's all we ask you to do. We're not going to ask you to buy a certain amount. We just ask you to go start browsing.
That's right.
And if you browse, you're going to find, I guarantee you, more than one t-shirt that you're going to be like, kind of want that. And all of a sudden, your basket will be filled, and you'll check out, and you'll use code HMT at checkout to get 13% off. So head over to nightchannels.com. Use that discount code HMT at checkout, get 13% off.
Let me go over some of their new designs that I love. We got the Reanimator Classic, H.R. Geiger's early work. They got Dead Alive Face Split. That's a great looking one. You got an Unsolved Mysteries shirt, Bryce, with the fingerprint. They got Evil Moisture Gunk Dissection. They got a System Shock shirt. They got all kinds of great stuff over there.
Yeah.
So check them out.
Much more impactful if you go actually look at the designs.
Oh, yeah. Take the Night Channels challenge, because that's what works. Just hop on the site and take a look around.
If you're listening to these commercials and you don't want to, you should know that there's an option to join our Patreon at the $6.66 level, and you'll get advanced access to our episodes as soon as we finish editing them, as well as episodes without the ads. We take all the ads out and just all the meat. It's just the Oreo stuffing. None of that filthy black cookie.
Yeah, it's just the what's that thing in your butthole? Yours?
Poop?
No, that thing that you can touch and it'll make you come harder.
Oh, my anus.
No, it starts with a P.
Your penis?
No. It's your. Sometimes people get cancer of it.
My pencil holder?
Oh my God, I'm going to go insane. If you know the name of the thing that's inside Bryce's butt that starts with a P, that sometimes gets cancer, please drop us a like.
Can you really not think of the...
I can't.
The prostate is what you're thinking
the
of.
Prelude. I was like...
The Honda Prelude, what?
The Prelude to Coming.
Okay.
It's we cut out all the commercials and only leave the prostate.
Right. I mean, my prostate in my butthole is only theoretical at this point, so I'm not even sure if I have one. Any volunteers? Okay, so check our Patreon at patreon.com/horrormovietalk. Join us there. Thank you so much for our recent new patrons that aren't listening to these ads because they paid up. Also, check out our shop at horrormovietalk.com/shop. There we've got t-shirts and stickers and more stuff to come once we get motivated to set it up.
Life.
If you like the episode artwork, we do too, because we love our resident artist, Dustin Goebel. You can find him on Instagram at dgoebel00 and reach out to him, and he takes commissions, and he'll help you out. Call us at 682-253-4468 to leave us a voicemail. Thanks again for listening. Let's get into spoiler blurs.
Spoilers! You noticed it's summer? It's hot girl summer?
It's hot girl summer, yeah.
Have you noticed?
Honestly, I haven't got out that much.
Wow!
I haven't seen that many hot girls out.
I'm sitting right here.
Oh.
I took my shirt off.
Yeah, I mean...
That's how you know it's summer.
Isn't this indecent at this point?
I mean, it is hot. It's going to be...
It's not hot down here in the basement with my AC.
It's a little hot down here, and it's going to be 100 degrees today.
Yeah, it's going to be rough today.
A hundo. A hundy,
as
they say.
Yeah, so this movie, North Denver, I have no feelings about. I love that you are the expert on the 70s aesthetic and the realism of the 70s, having been born in 1985. Four.
I mean, you can't know anything that came before. Only you can know what your experience is.
I can tell you what the 90s was like.
Do you know how many movies from the 70s I've watched? Like, tons.
Well, yeah, but you're saying it got the realism right.
Yeah. Yeah, because those movies from the 70s portray like an idealized, realistic version of the 70s.
Okay.
And this does a good job of paring that idealism down even a little bit.
Right.
And kind of makes it more plain and gross, which is the way I imagine it.
Sure.
Because it's the way I've heard people who hated the 70s describing it.
There is a kind of a unique experience watching this, is that we take notes. You know, all these beats that we're going to talk about are the notes that I take during the film.
Okay.
And one of the things I try to write down is the name of the characters. And I swear to God, they said the name of the protagonist like 6 times within the first 10 seconds of the film, and I still didn't get it right.
Yeah, it's one of those names that...
I was like, Denny?
It's one
Lenny?
of the...
Fenny?
Scrimmy?
Benny? And like later, much later in the film, they're like, Finny. You can call me Finn. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
F-I-N-N-Y. Finn, Finny, Finn. Yeah.
What did I... Here, I'll read what I wrote down. Rennie? Denny? And then finally wrote down Finny! Exclamation point.
Rennie?
Well, but the fact that they had like, because he was playing baseball and they had like the cheerleader saying his sister and like his teammates, go Finny, go Finny.
F-I-N-N-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You're Finny. You're Finny. Yeah.
And I'm over here.
Well, why did they choose a phonetically difficult name to hear? You know, they did do that. It could have just been Ben. You know,
Bob. Yeah. So there's a baseball game, and it's like very important. He's the pitcher, and he's pitching real good, and then this Asian kid knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, they got this middle school kid throwing fucking snapping what do you call them? Fastball pitches. And I mean, like they even have a pitch thrown from his view where you get to see the curve of the
Right.
ball, like, like it looks like if this was bowling, it would be like, God damn, like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. You can always tell a professional bowler
Right.
because that ball just snaps in there,
Yeah. And there's this great, because he's like making eyes at this one girl through the fence, and she's like, "Ooh, I want to fuck you," and then the kid hits the ball out of the park, and the girl's like, "Oh, never mind.
I don't want to anymore." It was based entirely on
Poor Finney. He was like, "Oh,
sports prowess." Poor Rennie.
So he was the most popular kid until one guy hit his pitch, and then all of a sudden, all the bullies wanted to beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it was based entirely on his athletic prowess.
Right. And it goes pretty hard with the school fights. Like, it seems like that was just the way of life. It's like, oh, you just walk around and wait to get wailed on by bullies.
It's I've heard tales of I mean,
you're the 70s expert. Tell us what it was like in the 70s, Dave.
Well, I can't tell you what it was like in the 70s. I can only tell you what it was like in my experience, because that's all I have to go on. That's the only thing that's ever informed me. Because I'm incapable of inference or nuance. But in my Christian school, where I had to go to school, because I think partially because I was a little bit of a difficult child. But not entirely. You know what? That might not be fair at all. I'm not entirely sure why they sent me to Christian school. Maybe just
because they're Christian.
Just fully indoctrinate me. Yeah, or maybe that's just what they honestly believed in. That doesn't seem possible, though. So there were a lot of rows on the playground.
Yeah, it starts immediately.
Several of which I was involved in. It was like in first grade was the first one. It was like, wow, what the fuck? Seems early, but I mean, the shows I watched in kindergarten prepared me for this for some reason. Like, I remember being like, yes, this is what school is like,
See, for me, it was, I don't think I ever saw a fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out.
I must have. There must have been some kind of tussle in the hallway, but I don't think I ever witnessed firsthand stuff going down in front of me. Like, it was always one of those things where it's like, oh, when you get to middle school, they're going to put your head in the toilets and give you swirlies. That's
I got
just
a
what they
swirly
do.
in high school.
Yeah, I never.
There was this dude he was obsessed with being a character from Porky's. He was just like, fuck the nerds! They're froshies! Get them! I was like, what? Who are you? I remember asking him in PE, because it was in PE. This was the only class where, all the classes melded together. And I was like, in what world do you exist? Like, how are you a person? Like, I remember being so, besieged with, you can't be serious. But he was like, dump them in the trash can. And they picked me up and put me in the trash can, and I was just, offered no resistance. I was like, oh, no,
okay.
I am in the trash can now. And they were like, got him! I was like,
I can climb. I'm just going to climb out right after you leave.
Now. And they were like, yeah, but you were in there, and we all remember it. I was like, okay.
It's it's mostly paper. I don't know what the... All right.
I remember embarrassing him was a good way to make it to stop, of just being like, what are you trying to do? Look, if you're going to beat my ass, I'll roll over and die for you. I'll just, oh, no, please don't hurt me. But it was all this, put his head in the toilet. It was like, no, don't.
I guess that's a benefit of being a fat kid. Just, I was very hard to lift. No one was giving me swirlies.
They're looking around. They're like, kids high on the list who I want to put in and can't.
Yeah, bullies and teachers that made you do stuff on time was always the constant threat throughout my school career, and they ended up not ever existing.
Really? Bullies didn't?
Yeah. It's I remember in
elementary
school. And you
still found a way to feel terrible about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, mine was psychological torture and less physical torture.
Life finds a way.
Well, you know when you're another. That you don't need bullies to tell you that. But yeah, so like it was always like, oh yeah, in middle school, they're real bullies there. They're going to give you swirlies. They're going to beat you up. They're going to like pick on the young kids. Never happened. But in high school, that's when, I mean, they can't just be making this stuff up. It's got to happen somewhere. Nope. Well, in college, like,
well,
it
you
never
grew
happened.
up in suburbia. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I grew up in everywhere I went was real rural.
Yeah, maybe farmhands just like have a lot of energy to.
They got a lot of energy
to torture people with. So yeah, lots of school fights. And then kind of Finney has a protector in this one kid, Robin. He's the first one that we see fighting, beats the shit out of this one bigger kid, and then protects Finney from these three bullies that want to fight him for no particular reason that's explained. And don't you love it when like the bullies in movies have like the reason why they're beating up a kid is that kid's life is already miserable? That's like one of my favorite tropes. Like in this film would be like, oh, look at you with your alcoholic dad that beat you. What a nerd. We're going to beat the fuck out of you. It's like,
you thought you were going to escape home, huh? Well, fuck you. Bring a little slut. This is what you like, right? This is how you live.
Look at you. Your legs don't work. Fuck you. It's like, dude, what?
I mean, but it does highlight the weird reality of kid hierarchies,
right,
which is like everybody's trying to figure out the pecking order,
right,
and the hierarchy does exist, and you better not be at the bottom of it because that blows. So find somebody and make them the bottom of it, like
right,
arbitrarily. Yay! Black hair, and it's like, oh no, black hair, and then everybody latches on to the fact that he's got black hair, and then you're done.
And then the kid with the black hair is like to the bully, but you have black hair too.
Not as dark as yours.
So Robin, that kid gets immediately grabbed by the grabber.
Yeah, he sure does.
And Gwen, I can't remember the sequence of events, but she has some kind of dream about Robin being grabbed, and I can't remember how it got brought up, but the detectives wanted to talk to her about it.
Yeah,
because she specifically had some details around these black balloons.
Well, she, yeah, I can't remember now either. Somehow they got wind of the fact that she had mentioned a black balloon,
and they said specifically that was something that they held back as evidence that they found on the scene, that they found black balloons in several different crime scenes. And then later I was asking myself, why didn't they tell the public that? Wouldn't that be like a very important, like, do you remember Stranger Danger announcements? They were like, well, he's in a green panel van and he drives along this, like, you'd think you'd give the kids enough information to be like, if you see anyone with a bunch of black balloons, which would be weird in the first place, go the other way.
Well, look, again, I don't have anything to base my reality off of other than my own personal life experiences. So this is third-hand information that I've gleaned from detective shows, but I barely gleaned it because it's very hard for me to pick up on these things. But a lot of times they'll withhold these kinds of, these markers so that specifically so that the public will take note of an obvious thing, and so that the person in the newspaper won't catch wind, so that they don't stop presenting the black balloons. They withhold the evidence to make sure that the big obvious thing can continue to be reported on, because they count on the public to. Well, what was happening? Well, there were black balloons there. That's our guy.
But it also seemed to be common knowledge that he was driving around in a black van, too.
Yeah, but black vans are much more common than black balloons, right?
I guess.
You guess?
I mean, yeah. But the combination of the two, you'd think you'd be able to have enough of a public warning. Like, there's the one side of, like, you want to catch him. There's the other side of, like, you want to make it harder for him to catch kids again, which would be, like, steer clear of a guy with a metric ton of black balloons.
There's no way to stop him. No way.
No way.
Well, there isn't. I mean, if somebody really wants to grab some kids, they're going to grab some kids. Ask me how I know. Only personal knowledge and information. Firsthand.
Did you get Pennywise vibes from Ethan Hawke? Especially when he grabbed Finney. Like, it was like his voice was almost channeling like the 2017 Pennywise.
I'm not going to lie to you. Not even a little bit.
Really?
None of it. But now I can definitely see the parallels that you're drawing. To me, it was Ethan Hawke's...
Oh, I'm an amateur magician.
Yeah.
Like, oh, silly me. Could you help me pick up my eggs?
Get that out. Yeah. No, I definitely see where you're pulling that from. It's kind of interesting. Our co-star over here, James Ransone, whose acting I really enjoy. He was in Sinister and Sinister 2. He was also in It. Remember It?
Yep, he was in It. And also, he was in your favorite show, The Wire.
No, my favorite show that he was in was Generation Kill.
Yeah. Season 2, which you will never see,
Never.
stars James Ransone in probably my favorite role. God, what's the name of the kid? Probably one of the most annoying characters on TV, but also kind of endearing.
James Ransone played the annoying guy?
Uh-huh. It was The Wire. He was Ziggy. Ziggy Sabatka. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fucking never see the second season of The Wire. And it is terrible. I stand by my... It is so boring.
So after Robin is kidnapped and before Finney is kidnapped, he gets wailed on by the bullies. So they're like, oh, he's weak now. And then has one of the best lines from Gwen when she arrives on scene. She goes, "You dumb fucking fart knockers." Perfect delivery.
Yeah, it's great delivery.
Yeah.
I thought the kids did a really good job acting cowed by their alcoholic, abusive father.
Oh, yeah. The father beating the daughter scene felt very real.
Oh, yeah.
And was really emotionally draining almost.
Oh, yeah. It was...
Because you see it and you're like, wow, this is...
going dark.
Really what happens, because Finney is... And it's also like really good for the character development, because Finney is frozen. He can't do anything, and it's unfair, and the father is drunk, and Gwen is trying to stand up for herself while, taking her beating, but also being deferential in the end and trying to make peace,
Yeah, Jeremy Davies is the dad.
Yeah.
He is... in this movie, made up to be the most fucking Charles Manson looking motherfucker you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Just diminutive, real dark hair, long hair, big beard. Ugh.
Yeah.
So, ugh. You remember him as, Upham, Corporal Upham from Saving Private Ryan, which is on Netflix right now.
Yeah, he's definitely a recognizable character actor.
Remember Upham? God, I hated Upham. He's the reason everybody died. He was the little...
Was he the journalist?
No, he was. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he was the guy they tasked with giving everyone ammo, running around.
Oh, that ammo. Was him.
The end scene of Saving Private Ryan. Oh my God, I will never. Oh, I hate very few people as much as I do Corporal Upham.
Yeah, he was also on Lost as Dr. Daniel Faraday. That scene does a lot in terms of number one, like adding
the dad beating scene.
Yeah, the dad beating scene also communicates a lot about the relationship between Gwen and Finney, which is they're in it together. And so the stakes are a lot stronger than just like, oh, your protagonist is captured. It's like, how is Gwen going to survive without her brother? You know, like
Right.
how's that going to work out? And then, like we said, Finney is kidnapped, taken to a basement, and the basement looks like it's the Sinister poster. Did you notice that? It was distracting to me because I was like,
yeah, I guess.
Just the set design, it has like that long trailing like black line.
Yeah.
That kind of just, you would assume it's trying to like represent like a flood line or something like that, but it trails off.
No, it's a crack in the concrete where the water seeps through.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it looks exactly like the Sinister poster. And then right in the middle there's the black phone. And he starts getting calls from the dead, starting with Bruce Yamato, the batter that fucked him over.
Yeah, this is scene. Okay. So we can kind of
we can skip forward a lot of this.
Like
it's formulaic at this point because he gets a call, they reveal that they were a former victim, and this is how they tried to escape, and so he like builds up this wealth of information and these tools that previous victims had left for him, starting out with Bruce told him about a loose tile and he could start digging under the foundation to get to the surface, which is, let's be honest, the least feasible option. There's another kid that told him about a wire that he pulled from the wall that he could use.
Yeah, another one told him he pulled the grate off the window. Another one told him he dug through the concrete to the freezer on the other side.
Yeah.
All of these things end up being
dead ends,
cumulative clues that like a video game. If you were playing a video game where you were stuck in a room, of which there are many, where you were stuck in a room and you're trying to, like get the pieces to the puzzle that are not obvious, that all tend to work together to further you into the next stage. At the end, he applies all of these all in one fell swoop.
Right.
And that's really the story of the Black Phone. The Black Phone is all the souls of the previous kids calling them up and being like, you're going to need to start digging, or you're going to need to get the wire that I loosened up. And it's compelling.
Yeah. And it finally,
and spooky.
It culminates to where Robin, his friend, calls him and tells him basically he has to fight for himself. Like,
right.
He's got to pack that phone with dirt and use it as a weapon, and he needs to fight for himself or he's going to die, so that's like the basic device, and most of the movie is following along that track, and that's where it becomes kind of formulaic. But the stuff around it is interesting, and I wish they did a little more with it. So there was a moment where the grabber leaves the door unlocked to the basement. And Finney knows this, but he gets a call from Billy that tells him, don't go up. It's part of the game.
It's a trap.
It's a trap and we see this awesome visual of Ethan Hawke at the top of the stairs, shirtless, in this scary mask with just a belt, and he's just waiting. It's like,
yeah, the vibes on this.
Yeah. And that was like, that's the most like frightening that we've seen the grabber really up to this point, other than, being a grabber.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to really talk about here is Ethan Hawke and the mask. The way this mask transforms, the way the mask is engineered is awesome.
Right.
It is awesome. It's a 2-piece interchangeable mask. So it has a top, where that covers above the bridge of his nose and down below his eyes. So you get just the eyes up, and then you have
horns.
With horns, and then you have below the bridge of the nose and under the eyes. So you
The
get
mouth.
the mouth, and the nose is covered as well. So, and he changes these out. He has multiple different pieces to this. So, and he dons these pieces when he expects to be happy, sad, or hard to tell. Right? My favorite is the hard to tell one, because he shows up first to Finney as with fully masked, with the bottom with no mouth. It's just this
just blank.
And I'm like, what the fuck? It's such a strange look.
Yeah.
But it's meant to it seems like it's meant to hide his intentions.
Yeah, and it's got like one with a smile, one with a frowny face. And it's kind of implied that there's different personalities related to how he's wearing the mask, and they never really flesh that out too much.
Yeah.
It would have been better if they went all in on like multiple personalities and made it like more like Split, where it's like, oh, he has this personality where it's kind of an ally, or he's being the friendly guy. It's like, they're all just kind of a guy fucking with him, really. And maybe that's the point.
It's really interesting. This character is affected, right? Severely affected,
right,
in his tone. He goes hi and has a lisp, and he's very kind of nonchalant and pretend happy, and there's some seething anger behind everything he says.
Yeah,
and then you kind of go, is that just who this guy is? But there's one moment where he's talking to his brother upstairs, where his brother's like, what was all that noise? And he's like, nothing. It was just not. It's the fucking dog barking. Go back to sleep.
Right.
And you're like, oh, that's not him at all.
Right.
He's got personas.
Right.
Yeah.
Billy mentions like, don't go up. You're just playing into his game, his favorite game, which is the Naughty Boy game.
I love this game, by the way.
You love Naughty Boys? You like being a naughty boy?
I love Naughty Boys.
But yeah, there's a lot that's communicated just from the name of that game.
Yeah.
Again, I wish they did more with it. Like,
of course you do.
Especially, so eventually it gets to a point where
Bryce and his naughty
boys.
boys.
Finney escapes with this knowledge that he's given. Like, he's given the code to this bike lock, and he finally gets away and is outside and running, but the grabber catches up to him and threatens his life if he screams out and takes him back. But I don't remember any real effects of that escape, because that would be like him playing into the Naughty Boy game, and I was expecting like there's going to be a severe beating or like mutilation or something that like would have, and if they had done that, it would have raised the stakes. It would have been like, oh shit. And it's one of those kind of like hero's journey moments where it's like, oh, you're never going to be the same. Like, you've been changed because of this experience, It would have been nice to throw that in just as a little bit of a underline to like, this was a failed attempt and there are consequences other than just the looming threat of being murdered.
I definitely agree. I mean, if you're this is R rated, right? Or is it PG? This could easily be PG-13.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything that would keep it from being PG-13.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Maybe that's why. It's R. It's
R.
If you're gonna go R, then just go R.
Yeah, go hard R. We're talking about a serial killer.
Never go hard R. I mean,
you should only go rated Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I mean, again, like, that's the only thing where I was like, there were some missed opportunities. But that being said, they did do enough Like, they did do enough to, like,
Yeah.
fill in the character of the grabber. He's fucked up. He's got, like, this system, and he's got, like, this thing that he's trying to get these kids to play into that's his sick, that feeds into his sick delight. And then, so while this is happening, we're told about the grabber's brother. We're introduced to him. It's James Ranzone's character, and, like, the detectives come, and he's like, seems like this independent investigator, kind of like a throwaway character, really.
The best character in the movie. This is the best character in the movie, played by James Ransone.
Right. And he's like, got these maps up, and it's very much like Charlie Day, Pepe Sylvia moment. He's like, he's got to be around here.
Who's Pepe Sylvia?
And it's revealed that, like, he's literally living...
Carol!
He's literally living in the house where the kid is being kept. Right. And his brother that he's staying with is the killer.
Yeah.
Did you get that before they revealed it?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, brother. Well, there we go. It's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Well, because at the start of the movie, it was implied a lot by Ethan Hawke that he had company upstairs. I can't be down here. Things aren't going the way I planned.
Yeah, he doesn't say what's going on, but, like, that explains, once you realize that James Ransone is in the house, like, that's what's keeping the grabber from ending his life quickly.
From continuing to grab.
Because it's complicated things. He can't just, like, go upstairs and rape and murder a young boy. He's got company.
He can't even stay downstairs and do it. He's
got to serve that Viennetta cake, Right. And so...
I made finger sandwiches. Out of little boys' fingers.
So James Ransone is trying to investigate, and at the same time, Gwen, Finney's sister, is trying to use her shining to get more information about where Finney is.
Yeah.
At which point she also curses at Jesus. Just another one of the great lines. Jesus, what the fuck?
What the actual fuck, Jesus? Yeah.
And because she's asking for dreams to reveal stuff, and she's eventually shown the house and leads detectives there. And then the ending is the brother figures it out, Gwen figures it out, the detectives go into this house that Gwen sees and realize that it's not the right house, but they discover that it's the house that all the kids are buried at.
Right. Which is kind of a throwaway, pointless, who cares kind of thing, other than maybe this was about was this about based on a true story or something?
No. Well, it was based on a story by Joe Hill. I think it was a book.
I mean, it's kind of, this is something that the book went into deeply and the movie didn't touch on at all. I was like, okay, so it's a different house. Who cares?
I mean, it kind of makes sense because Gwen is being led there by the previous victims, and the previous victims probably want their bodies to be found more than the killer defeated or whatever. But then it's revealed that Finney is at the house across the street, that the killer owns both of them, that he has...
Yeah, this felt just like shoehorned in, and I was like, why are we... This is literally... The reason they did this was to knock on the wrong door of Buffalo Bill's house and have Jodie Foster be at the right door. This was there was no other reason to do this.
Right. It was like the wooden sign above that house said the Herrings live here. Right. Red Herring and family.
Right.
But so that happens, and Finney is, he fights the grabber and wins and kills him and all that stuff. The one thing that, like, kind of, if I'm getting nitpicky,
never.
One of the things that he's told about is, like, okay, there's a storage room in the basement with a giant freezer, and it's been plastered over so you can't get to it. But this is how you get to it. You break through this concrete wall with the porcelain, toilet bowl thing, which I'm not sure that would actually work.
Stuff back then was made better.
And you can screw into this freezer, and it's there. And then I'm left asking, well, how does how does Ethan Hawke access that storage room? Are there 2 stairways? This is just beyond the pale. Doesn't make sense.
Could have just been a hallway to the right or the left.
But it all gets tied up in a nice little bow at the end, and it is a satisfying conclusion. And without that first act, without the character development in the beginning, this would have been a real snooze fest for me.
The end felt a lot like a lot of different things to me. I was like, oh, that's this. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's this. Like the whole movie felt a lot like Signs to me, like Swing Away, Meryl, like down to the baseball bat, I was like, oh, he's got a good arm. He's got a good arm. Swing away, Meryl, swing away. And then
it is satisfying. It's a good character arc for Finney because he starts out like he's strong enough.
Yeah.
Like he can defend himself, but he chooses not to. He just chooses to take it.
And then
the kid, his friend, points out to him, like, you're strong enough. You just need to fight back. And that's, like, the lesson that he learns is, like, he can fight back and defend himself and fight for others, not just let stuff happen.
And then the other one was, the Jodie Foster knocking on the right door and the other detectives knocking on the wrong door kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good stuff.
Yeah, good.
It's definitely worth seeing. I wouldn't steer people clear of it. Like if you're looking for a horror movie to see in theaters, it's a good,
super vibey. Yeah, great time.
Okay, final recommendations. I guess we just did that.
Strong thriller material, true crime kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Serial killer. If you're into serial killer shit, this is knocks it out of the park. This is really great.
All right, so moving on to our next game, which is Horror or Horrible.
Oh, dear. This game is rough.
David's favorite game. I'm trying to make it a little lighter. Just a second. Let me adjust.
Are you just saying that you're going to be easier on me because to make me let my guard down so that I'll be like ultra shocked? Because last time I was upset.
There will be upsetting, but I'm trying to take you on a journey a little more.
Okay. Now, for anybody wondering, anybody who wants to see these clips, will you include these in the post?
Yes.
For the black phone?
Yeah, I guess I will.
Oh, poor guy.
Okay, so we've got several.
So go to horrormovietalk.com.
A lot of these are pretty short, so we'll just get your reaction to these as we go.
Okay, so it looks like a mountain biker going down a mountain. Oh my god! Oh my god, dude! He's just ragdolled down the whole does it have sound?
I think it's copyright protected. David Bowie song, so I'm not going to play it.
Oh.
I can turn the sound on for the rest of them though.
Jesus Christ!
The camera guy follows him all the way. Like there is no
rushing to help this poor man who definitely has a tremendous back injury. Okay, so this one. Okay, hang on. Let me set the ambiance here. This one is I think I've seen this one. This is a fella reaching into a profoundly high voltage electrical panel. This man is at a transfer station, not a transfer station, but a transfer station. Transformer array.
Okay, I skip forward a little bit because it's a pretty long one.
Okay, he's got a spanner and he's going to throw it in between these things.
That's fine.
These are fuses, the massive fuses that he's making sure they're seated in correctly.
I thought you'd appreciate this because you dabbled with being an electrician. So
these are fucking massive fuses that he's being just very. That man is no longer alive.
I'm sure he's fine.
No, that man is...
David, he was wearing gloves.
He's not even there anymore. Holy
dude,
shit.
There was
so much fire.
There was one video that I don't think I saved, but is probably on my top list of most horrific things I've ever seen. Was a guy that got electrocuted at one of these panels, and he was just charred but still alive, and he had a hole through his chest cavity that you could see his lungs breathing.
Can you not?
Sorry. Next video. That is to say, electricity can fuck you up.
So we're on a freeway. It looks like this is a dash cam footage.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and...
Yeah, we'll go. It's pretty short.
Oh no! He hit a very tiny car, and the car erupted into flames. These people are dead too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why are you...
Those are called, like, tuk-tuks, I think.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that was definitely in, like, Thailand or something like that. Holy shit.
All right, this one's a little louder.
Oh, I've seen this one. Hang on, you gotta pause it so I can set the scene. Jesus, you just jump right into these things.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This girl is nude, with her ass in the air on a table and a giant funnel placed into her asshole, and she's just chugging beer into her butt. Okay, go. And it appears like it's a bachelor party. She's pulling it out. And she's spinning around and shooting it at people. Butt water. That is a lot of beer coming out of her butt. She's firing again.
Second salvo. Yeah. Just like helicopter. And it doesn't seem like the guys are too into it, to be honest.
Worth it to go to horrormovietalk.com and click on the Black Phone review link to just to watch that one. It's called Human Fountain. This one is titled Watch Your Head.
This is apropos because of, Teen Wolf.
Okay, hey, hold on, man.
Sorry.
Let's set it up. This is a train in India.
That's all you need to know.
And this is one train in India is being shot with a camera from another train in India as they're going together down train tracks separated by another track.
And there's a bunch of guys hanging off the side.
Oh, yeah. Tons of people hanging off the side of this train. But wait, back that up a little bit. Let me see what happened.
Yeah, he leans out just a little too much.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
And he got taken by a telephone pole.
Yeah.
Wow, it was full Hereditary. Whoa. Oh.
Here we go. You'll like this one.
All right. Hang on. You gotta let me set it up. What? You have this jock dude in basketball shorts with a basketball. He's fully basketballed out. And he goes running at a hoop to slam dunk it. He does so, and then he pulls his pants down and just shits out a bunch of shit really hard and fast. Do it again. Blast. Wow. Bravo. Having that is athletic prowess. Okay, here we got a guy on the top of it looks like a skate park. He's on a skateboard. He's about to get his skateboard onto the banister.
Yeah, he's going to do some sick tricks.
And go down the banister. Oh, I've seen this before. Damn! Oh my god, this dude's neck takes the entire...
Yeah.
Oh, it's good that he's sitting up. Wow. I can't believe he's definitely got some fucking disc injury.
Yeah, his collarbone is not doing great right now.
At least he's not fucking spined out, dude. Jesus Christ.
Okay. This one,
okay,
we've just got some people sitting on the sidewalk in a foreign land.
This is called Bazinga.
I think you'll like this.
Okay.
I think you'll like it.
It looks like they're sitting on a sidewalk. Yeah. As a car is driving down the street, it loses a tire, and this tire just atomizes a person. Wow!
It's a sound effect.
That is...
just wanted to lighten the mood a little bit.
God, your life can just end for no apparent reason, just out of nowhere.
I don't know if did we do this one before?
Let's see. This is the title is... Wait. The title is... Go back to the small screen. When your legs don't walk like they used to before. Barf emoji. Okay, and we have a...
Does this look familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
We have a young Indian man.
You know, when you don't
With
have
his-
a jack, you gotta improvise.
With his... Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's pushing on the big tire of a tractor. Bryce is closing his eyes. No! He's... Oh, no! Oh, no!
I can't do that one. That one lives in my nightmares.
Oh!
What did you see, David?
Oh! Oh! I don't... There aren't any more after this, right? I'm not watching any more of those. Oh, that was way worse than a horror movie.
And it's so simple. It's just an injury. He's not even dead, David. He's fine.
His legs went totally backwards. His knees bent completely backwards. It was like he was morphing into a car.
He turned into
an ostrich.
He turned into a grasshopper for a minute. Oh, man. I hate those. Dude.
That's so gross.
Dude, knee hyperextensions is... I can watch someone be decapitated. I cannot watch those. That's just so... All right, maybe we should end there.
It takes a part of my soul. I can't.
No, wait, we'll have two more. I'll leave out the worst one. The worst one is bad. These two are a little more lighthearted.
Storm! The little liquid sunshine never hurt nobody. Let's get it!
Fuck, dude. That's the coolest shit I've ever seen. This dude's walking out in a field in the middle of a thunderstorm, and at the end of his perfectly cut scream, lightning strikes a tree right behind him, fully in frame. Play that again. I need to watch this.
Storm! The little liquid sunshine never hurt nobody. Let's get it!
Holy shit! I need to watch that one more time. This is
Didn't beat the storm.
Wow.
The little liquid sunshine never hurt nobody. Let's get it!
Wow, that is my favorite. Wow. Okay, this one's a catastrophic failure of some sort. What's the title? What do we got?
That's not important. This one was actually shared on our Facebook group, I think.
This is alley footage.
Yeah, it's just in a parking lot. Someone's getting in a car.
Oh, this is going to be a sinkhole.
Pull away.
This is a sinkhole. Here we go. There, it's gone. The car is now gone.
Yep. God didn't like that car anymore.
Looked like it only fell down about 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah, but a building fell on top of it, so that's...
Or maybe it was just a billboard.
Sure, yeah. We can all hope.
Wow, that was that
right.
perfectly cut scream was amazing. No, I'm not watching that.
All right. Man, that was...
Let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's get some horror movie talk. Oh man, that ruined my day.
I'm buzzing now.
Yeah, I am
buzzing
too.
with excitement.
I wouldn't say excitement.
All right.
My knees hurt.
Here's a couple voicemails from you, the listeners. If you want to call us, call 682-253-4468.
Hey, you perverts. It's Mike from California. Don't you dare say I'm a normal citizen or whatever the fuck you said on that last phone call, because I'm not. Let's stop with the wokeness and let's get a little toxic masculinity in here. I want to know which 3 horror movie broads you guys want to bang. Don't be scared. Answer it. Don't be scared to answer it like you are the fucking air, you posers.
Wow.
Later.
Okay, listen.
I'm a little confused by the question. It says horror movie bras.
Broads.
Oh, broads.
Yeah.
Okay. The transcription said bras.
So for those of
either
you
like-
who need to clean yourself off after that call, I would like to, again, suggest that you Donate to our GoFundMe, which is going to be, we have a $2,000 goal to go to the Trevor Project to save young LGBTQIA plus lives. We're going to be donating the first $500 to that. And if Mike discussed you, let us know with a dollar amount. Mm-hmm. And we're real excited to help young people,
Mm-hmm.
try and keep their heads
So,
straight.
yeah, which 3 horror movie broads would we like to bang?
Oh, and
that makes a lot more sense, because I was thinking either the physical object bras or like just dude bros. Like, hey, brah.
And you can get there by going to horrormovietalk.com.
All right.
And scroll down a little bit. Well, that's the only place they can get there.
Quit avoiding the question, David.
You have you thought about it?
I mean, I can come up with a list pretty easy. I mean, Alexander Daddario's number 1.
What movie was she in?
She was in that. I could find one, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you don't know what it is.
Well, she was in that Netflix movie. What was it? Something Darkness. It was some witchy movie on Netflix.
I'm gonna go that gal from Bride of Chucky. What's her name?
Jennifer Tilly.
Oh yeah,
is a pretty good
Jennifer Tilly. Back when she was in Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, Alexandra Daddario was in We Summon the Darkness. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
But she's been in other horror movies, I'm sure.
This is hard to do off the top of my head. Oh, there was one chick in Friday the 13th Part 2. There was 2 chicks in that one.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
the hot pants girl?
The hot pants girl, but more than that, the little cutie with the nice booty. Like, she had some wonderful assets on her, and I loved her a lot. So I will say the 2 girls from Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah, I do. Alexander Daddario. Jennifer Tilly is probably a real easy go-to.
Yeah.
I'd also go for Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer Connelly is my top all-time crush of all time.
And I'm sure there's... Jennifer Aniston. I take away Jennifer Tilly. I'll replace her with the other Jennifer. Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun.
There you go. Okay, cool. Donate to our charity to prevent Mike from, taking over the world. We love you, Mike.
All right, next voicemail.
Good morning, fellas. This is the Beastie from the Northeastie. Bryce, regarding my last time that I called in about Darcy the Mail Girl, you'll be happy to know that she's actually done adult videos before she was on Joe Bob. So you're welcome. It was under the name Diana Prince. And I have another sinkhole earthquake scenario for you. So, what is scarier? A 5-foot wide, 500-foot deep sinkhole, or a 500-foot wide, 5-foot deep sinkhole? Sorry, I wrote it out so I didn't fuck it up, but I think it did anyways. But yeah, 5-foot wide, 500-foot deep, or 500 feet wide, 5-foot deep. See you later.
Okay, so...
Gee, I really have to think about this one hard. I mean, the 500-foot deep sinkhole, of course.
That's 5 feet wide?
That's 5 feet wide, yeah.
This gets to the difference between Bryce and I. This question actually dials into the difference. The 5-foot wide one that is just a pit to hell,
right,
is much scarier to Bryce.
Yes,
than the one that is going to cause much more death and destruction. The 500-foot wide,
it would
5
cause
foot deep.
0 death. It would cause some destruction.
The destruction causes the death, dum-dum.
Yeah,
if everything in a 500-foot radius just dropped 5 feet out of nowhere, yeah, everybody in the vicinity would fucking die.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
5 feet's not that deep.
No, but Nothing is made to be nothing the size of a building or even a car is made to be dropped 5 feet like that. No, a building will come down under that. That is completely outside of the normal constraints of any. This is literally what makes earthquakes scary.
Right. Yeah, I guess.
That one is obviously scarier. I see the difference is I apply logic.
Well, I mean, the difference is like if you're envisioning yourself being in that sinkhole, like
you're dying either way, but one, you're taking a lot more people with you.
I don't know. Like if this house was to drop 5 feet, I'm in the basement, surrounded by concrete walls.
Yeah, and they're falling down on you.
The ceiling would come down.
Oh yeah, you would be dead.
The concrete box would be fine. But it would come down at an angle.
Bryce,
so I would survive.
In one scenario,
I could be
only you die. In the other scenario, your whole family probably dies. And me, your best friend.
Well, I would say in one scenario...
First of all, I would say second best friend.
One scenario, I would definitely die. Another scenario, my family might die.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
One, they'd be perfectly safe, and the other, they'd be in great jeopardy. The biggest jeopardy they've ever been in.
I still choose the 500 deep.
FYI, while CJ the Beast
I was
from
really
the
not
Northeast,
getting the question because I was looking up Diana Prince on X Hamster. So.
Oh yeah, no, you can't blame it on that. He was literally okay. Can we not look at actual hardcore porn while we're?
I'm sorry. Offending your delicate sensibilities.
Yeah, well, it would be nice if you didn't. Have a thought for other people for once.
Right.
You know?
Listen up, Fruit Loops. It's Mike from California again. I just got done listening to Stranger by the Lake. What is going on? What the fuck is going on? I need a palate cleanse. I need a tit flick, horror movie, boob fest, something. Hope you guys find your way. Yeah.
Again,
we're equal opportunities here, and again, if you want to support gay and trans lives,
save young gay and trans lives with HMT by going to horrormovietalk.com and clicking on that GoFundMe link just a little bit down the page.
I do think. I mean, obviously, we were trying to celebrate Pride Month, but he does come up with a good point. Like maybe there's a booby equivalent horror movie that we could watch.
I don't know. Do they make those?
I mean, is there a horror movie that just shows about like a quarter of it is just women coming?
Carrie.
Okay.
Jennifer's Body. It would have been the obvious inverse to Stranger by the Lake.
Yeah, but not even close though.
Nah, nothing goes as hard.
It would literally it would have to be like a female orgasm compilation.
Dude,
on Pornhub.
Is there anything more manly than fucking another man in the ass?
No way, man.
Can you think of anything more manly?
No, I can't.
Neither can I.
That's peak masculinity.
Mike's over here getting soft.
Hey guys, this is Brian Flores, the exotic from Alabama. Just listening to Stranger by the Lake podcast, and
Is he calling in from Fallujah?
He's calling in from a pod of orcas.
Take a peek at old Michelle's mustache, because I know Bryce was over there raving about it, how much he wanted to slide his dick over that. And God, I've never wanted to grow a mustache so much in my life. Give me that 2 inches of ex-Mormonism. Anyway, you guys were talking about, since I was blasting through all of your content 9 to 12 hours a day at work, 6 ropey loads of blasting, that I needed to become a Patreon, which I did, I believe, in January for the 666 price. My favorite number of all time. So just letting you guys know that I'm right there with you.
Is he fishing? Is he just letting line out?
I'm so confused.
What is that?
I gotta see that what that looks like.
What even is that?
I felt either that was like machine gun fire or he just was zip tying a bunch of victims.
I feel like he was letting line out.
Yeah.
You know? That's how my fly reel sounds.
Or he's calling from the toilet and just letting him rip. Yeah, I mean, if you got a gorgeous mustache like Michelle, I mean, how could I resist? This 2 inches of ex-Mormonism is all yours, buddy.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Next call. Next call.
What we got? Oh dear God.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dominic calling from Buffalo, New York. Longtime listener, first-time caller, and new Patreon member at your $15 a month tier.
Hell yeah.
I had to show the love and support.
Just today.
I've been going through a really rough time. My grandma's been super sick in the hospital, and I enjoy listening to your podcast to take my mind off this shit. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. When I'm listening to your podcast, it's like both of you guys are in the room with me. Great fucking podcast. That's all I got to say. And I wrote you guys a special rap, mini verse. I'm a rapper and screenwriter that'll be moving back to LA in the next couple of months. And I wrote you guys this stuff today, and I hope you guys like it. Here it goes. Ready?
Ready.
Addicted to horror movie talk, I'm starting to feel the itch. Stuffed like a turkey, nice tits, bitch. Chainsaw in hand, ass first, leather face. When it comes to MILFs, you can call me Norman Bates, but I'll leave it with more than just a fly up on her face. My flow is kind of scary, drinking it's hereditary. It's a cool midsummer night, bizarre 'cause it's always light. I'm on a bad trip, a grisly end is in sight. There's a little taste of my lyricism.
That's good.
And again,
that's good.
Thank you for this podcast. It's hands down the best horror movie podcast, and I have no doubt that it's going to grow into something that's ginormous. It's fucking amazing. Both you guys, Bryce and David, you both do a great fucking job, and I just want to say thank you. Keep killing it, and I can't wait for next week. Wednesday episode. Sorry, a little slur of the speech. Had a couple, Johnny Walker blues, if you know what I mean. But hope you guys have a great weekend, and can't wait to listen to the episode where I'm featured on. Take care.
Hey, Dom, thank you so much.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oops, sorry. I pressured.
Thank you so much for all the kind words and for the rap. And
yeah.
And I'm sorry you're going through a tough time with your grandma.
Yeah. Feels like a prerequisite to call is that you got to be drunk sometimes.
Oh,
yeah. That's a common occurrence. Yeah, Dominic, depending on how you'll take it, you might want to steer clear of the afterpods about a year and a half or more ago.
Oh yeah, rough sailing.
Losing my dad. It's rough losing loved ones, and hope you and your family are doing good and handling it.
I have a couple things I'd like to bring up. Number one, we forgot to talk about our final show that we had 2 days ago with the Kiggins Cult of Horror and Hereditary. Right. We were joined by a bunch of people, some gals from Boston. One gal came out from Kentucky. Great time, great show. I mean, it was the best feeling show that we did, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we got better each time.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
This was like the closest to a podcast episode, and I think that was kind of what we figured out. Just do it more like a podcast, and you'll feel more normal. I did like that we were sitting.
Yeah, me too.
Mostly because it helped me catch my breath a little easier. Yeah, I had a real tenuous relationship with my back, and so I wasn't dancing as hard.
Yeah.
But even then, it was fucking hot in that theater.
Fuck.
That night.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, that was good. Thanks, Dominic. Thanks for supporting us. And you're going to get this probably today, so you don't have to wait till Wednesday.
And then, but the other thing I wanted to bring up was we haven't heard from our other resident rapper, Bugsy, in a while. Bugsy, are you out there? Are you listening? What's going on with you, man? How you been? I hope you're okay, and we miss you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, last caller. This was sent to us like just hours.
Yeah, just
this was while we started, I think.
1 hour ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryce and David. Hey. It's been a while since I called. This is Robert the Farter.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd call in. I really liked the last episode. Whatever. It's the. I don't remember exactly the name because it's like in a different language or something. But You guys definitely have
Strangers
to
by the
review
Lake.
Psycho. I mean, I know the Patreons, they're the ones who get to vote, but just, you know, you definitely have to, because that's just a classic.
Yeah. I think
And anyways, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Robert.
No, he's called and asked this question before, and we
Was
talked
it
about
him?
it. Yeah, it was him. He's like, you guys got to review Psycho, but he probably didn't listen to that
Okay,
episode.
Robert, let me just listen closely. I'll say it one more time. We have, but it's only available through our pretentious episodes on Patreon. So what's the tier that gets that? 25?
Yeah, $25. And actually, I'm glad that you're asking about it, because I can read all of the Patreon exclusive movies that we have that we've reviewed over there right now, because I have a list. And that list starts off, let's see, all 7 levels, and here we go. It goes Basket Case, Dead Alive / Brain Dead, Cabin in the Woods, Army of the Dead, Greenland, Ghoulies, House, or House from Japan, The Void, Don't Look Now, The Last House on the Left, Psycho, Cemetery Man, and then there's been a couple more since then. I thought I swear to God, I wrote them down on this fucking thing just last week.
What did we just do? We just did one.
It's on the feed, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so, I mean, that one's actually available. Oh, we did Cat People. That's right.
Cat People, but then also we did, Mad God.
Mad God.
Yeah,
right.
Mad God.
So, yeah. Check us out on Patreon. If you're just jonesing for extra content, regardless if it's the movie that you're asking for, but sometimes it is, just check out our Patreon. You know, you don't have to do $25 in perpetuity. Like if there's a movie on that list that we just read that you want to listen to, like,
yeah, you can hop on for $25 for 1 month, listen to those, and you know, and then
downgrade,
hop down to a lower tier. Yeah. Anyway,
don't leave, just downgrade.
Shut the fuck up. What are you doing?
Or not. Yeah. Or upgrade. Upgrade's an option.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for calling and listening. Lots of generous and good words. I think people really love Stranger by the Lake. That's what I'm getting. You know.
Look, if they don't, they haven't watched it, because it is a pretty good movie. And if you don't like seeing dick go into butthole, then probably not a red-blooded American man. Like,
so yeah, that's a question. Is there a female equivalent to Stranger by the Lake? Let us know in the
Suspiria, dude.
Section. That's oof. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Suspiria 2018.
All right, thanks for listening. Go check out horrormovietalk.com. Check out our sponsor, nightchannels.com. What else should we talk about?
You should try and support or give to our GoFundMe for saving
for the Trevor Project.
Yeah.
If you want to watch some of those videos, those horrible videos that I showed David, go to our post and watch them. And then until next time, we'll see you. Bye, babies. Will you? God damn it. Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
I just had to stroll through the scraggly woods. He had no face! Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good.